Hey friends. All right, so today I'm going to share with you an extremely simple but very powerful hack that you can use to bring your nervous system and your energy out of contraction and back into a place of regulation, relaxation, expansion. And this is especially powerful when things are not going your way, when you're not seeing the results you desire fast enough. If you're looking for more ease, more joy in your growth and abundance journey, then you're in the right place. Welcome. And before I go into this, I'm just going to give you a brief introduction. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Ilsa. I'm in Boulder, Colorado. I'm a dog mama, married. Feel free to say hi to me. Feel free to let me know where you're watching this from. Personally, I'm an absolute spiritual nerd. I'm a bookworm. I love to dance. Professionally, for the last 18 years or so, I've worked as a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, and a strategist, mainly for entrepreneurs and leaders. I essentially teach my clients how to rewire their nervous system, their brains, their bodies, their lives, and their businesses, their wealth for more of everything they desire without second guessing themselves, without stressing, without sacrificing, and without sabotaging. For me, a deeply nourishing and successful life and business happens at the marriage, the convergence of emotional freedom and financial freedom. You can't have one without the other, really, because if not, it's not really freedom. So that's what my work is all about. So I'll go into depth more in this at the end, but if you want to find a really powerful, simple way to come out of contraction into expansion, and you want to unlock the power and the potency of your nervous system and become the most peaceful force in your life and in your business, then I want to invite you to book one of my Wired for Wealth intensive at 60% off. I usually open anywhere between 2 and 4 of those, depending how busy I am that month, at that price. So you can just click the link in the description of this video to get all the details on exactly what we do in that 90-minute one-on-one intensive, and how much it is and all. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start by making a really powerful claim. And that claim is that the most damaging things to your results is essentially a contracted nervous system. And I say that because when your nervous system is contracted, it's going to keep you in a place of doubting yourself, doubting what you're doing, doubting what is possible. And there's nothing that's going to kill your momentum faster than some kind of downward spiral of negativity. You see, a contracted nervous system is essentially set up to keep you safe. And the way it keeps you safe is often by keeping you small and hiding out. To our nervous system, visibility, expansive growth, receiving and having more than we're used to feels dangerous. It feels like it's going to set you up to be rejected, to be criticized, to fail. And so, because it feels unsafe to your nervous system, oftentimes your nervous system is going to fight against growth. It's going to fight against expansion, and it's going to sabotage your results. It's going to sabotage your progress in all sorts of ways. One of those ways that essentially siphons our confidence and sabotages our progress is by allowing short-term results to define our state of mind and to sap our enthusiasm, which when your enthusiasm contracts, when your confidence contracts, it essentially makes you want to retreat in your shell, and it kind of forces you almost to give up too quickly. It forces you to take your foot off the gas before you've seen results. Short-term results are just that, they're short-term. And oftentimes our big work is to keep our enthusiasm up, keep our positivity, keep our expansion going long enough to see results. And for some of us, that might be a while. If you want to kill any momentum that you have built, all you have to do is start to doubt yourself. Is start to doubt that what you're doing is working, that people want what you're offering. That doubt, that loss of excitement, of energy, of belief in yourself and what you're doing are symptoms of nervous system dysregulation and contraction. And they will automatically start to shut down the flow, both your inner flow, flow of creativity, flow of confidence, flow of consistency, and the outer flow, flow of receiving. One of the biggest mistake I see purpose-driven professionals and entrepreneurs make is apply the belief that something is not working or that people don't want what they have to offer way too soon. And I see that happen both in business and life as well as in relationships. We make judgment calls way too soon. The truth is, we live in a reality where there are all these rules. For some of us, like even people who will tell you, and I hate this, by the way, like 6 figures in 6 weeks or some bullshit like that. What they don't tell you is that, yes, they might have had a very quick shift, but they had been working on that shift for 5 years. So can you have a powerful shift quickly? Yes. But most people who have sustainable, consistent results do so because they have built sustainable and consistent nervous systems and processes in place. They have not given up too soon. They have trusted their process. So some of that, I think, is that we have like almost this automatic expectation or set point of rejection and failure. And so the moment that we don't see results right away, there's something that rises up inside us to protect ourselves from disappointment, from rejection, from failure. And so we guard our heart by starting to doubt and by giving up too quickly. But in guarding our heart, we actually block the destiny that is possible for us. And we doom our soul in some ways because we never actually have I'm looking for a word. Like we never have enough like staying power to actually see what is already on its way to us. And I find that to be really true with results, especially in business. For most of us, we're focused on the fruit. We're focused on, like we plant a seed and we're focused on seeing the plant come out and the fruit coming. But the truth is, there's a lot of fucking work that goes on underneath the soil where we can't see it. And you might be there planting a seed, watering your seed every day, and it looks like nothing's working, nothing's happening. What you don't see is that underneath the ground, the roots of your future fruits are already growing. Like before you see even the smallest little leaf come through the soil, there's like this momentum of roots underneath. And this is what we have to understand is momentum and results are created in the unseen realm. They're created in what you can't see. And if you give up too quickly, if you stop watering too quickly, you essentially stop that entire momentum. Even though you've got roots growing underneath, and soon you're going to see sprouting and leaves and then fruits coming, you literally give up, or you move tactic, you shift your tactic before you can see anything come above the surface. You want to think of your nervous system, your inner energy, your inner sense of expansion and trust and calm certainty and conviction in yourself. Those are the roots underneath the soil. And those are always kind of what we have to grow so that we can see the sprouts and then the fruits. So success requires this unwavering faith and trust and certainty until we see the results. And these qualities are essentially needed to maintain that momentum. Before you can see results, there's momentum that has been building. That's another way of looking at the roots. The roots are not just our own internal system, but the roots are like the momentum that's slowly building before we can see it. So, for example, in business, some clients need to see a call to action or an invitation 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 times before they're ready to say yes. They need to see your post, your trainings come up in social media or in their email multiple times before they're ready to say yes. I've had people hop on calls with me that when I chatted with them, I realized they'd been following me for almost a couple of years. And so what we need to do, like that momentum is also the roots growing. Like literally every time somebody sees an email you create or they see some kind of post or content you create, the roots are growing. They're getting bigger, they're spreading. And at some point, there's an action that's taken. And literally, a little leaf comes above ground. And that's a person buys. We need to maintain that momentum, that creativity, that conviction all the way through until something in the outer realm happens, which is called results. Without that sense of faith, of trust, of conviction, of certainty, you will literally sabotage any progress you make. Right when somebody's about to buy because they've seen you 7, 8 times, now they're considering it, they feel like they know you, you'll be, this thing's not working, and you'll do something else. Or no one wants this, and you'll do something else. And whatever roots you'd been building, you'll literally stop watering, and they'll dry out just before you could see something happen. So that's the thing we have to understand, is that the outside world is a mirror of our own internal level of contraction and expansion. The more in expansion you are, the more anchored you are in your own conviction, in your own sense of certainty that your results are coming, and in your own staying power. So shifting into expansion internally, that can happen within minutes, even seconds, when we learn to do it right. And then we learn to do it over and over and over. Like every time we feel ourselves contracting, every time we feel ourselves doubting, every time we feel ourselves losing enthusiasm or excitement or faith, then we do the work. And when we do the work, if we do it over and over enough, at some point, we literally start to anchor our identity in that level of expansion. And being regulated, being in expansion becomes our natural way of being. It becomes who we are, regardless of what's happening. But to repair and restore our own inner flow, our own sense of aliveness and enthusiasm and faith, and see that inner expansion reflected back in the outside realm, in our lives and our results, that can take a little time. And it does take some consistent work, both internally and externally. And when we do that, you literally start to rewire everything in you that says that you're small, that you're not enough, that people don't want you the way you are. Essentially, you start to rewire every wound you have and shift that wound back into wholeness. And I say it can take a little bit of time because oftentimes the thing you want the most, because of how much of your own sense of identity, sense of self-worth is wrapped up in it, the thing you want the most is often the last thing to shift and show up in your internal life. It's really common for clients of mine to say, Ilsa, everything's changing. Like I'm doing this expansion work with my nervous system with you. And, like I just started talking to my sister I haven't spoken to in 10 years. All my backache that I've had for, like 10 years is gone. I'm having the best sex ever in my relationship. This is changing. This is changing. This is happening. But I'm still not having this, or I'm still not making this. And oftentimes that last thing is where all our sense of self-worth is wrapped up in. And that's the last things to shift. So we have to essentially stay consistent with this work until everything starts to shift and we are in this flow of abundance. So staying in expansion and trust, no matter what your short-term results are, no matter what you're feeling, all the way through, and rewiring every single part of you that doesn't feel enough, that doesn't feel worthy or deserving, or that doesn't feel safe being themselves, safe being seen and visible, safe being big. That's the real work. We rewire everything. And that's what leads to sustainable, consistent success. And the kind of success that does not require a sacrifice. Because for me, there's plenty of people who build success technically in their lives, but they build businesses or lives they hate, that drain their soul dry, that they want to escape from. To me, the kind of success that has a real cost and requires a lot of sacrifice is not success. So that's not what I'm working with you here. So when I work with clients, we're both working on increasing our capacity to receive more, the quantity of receiving, but we're also working on increasing our capacity for quality. That means feeling safe and worthy to let things be easy, to let things be joyful, to let things be nourishing. And so that for me is true success. Again, we're back to what I mentioned right at the beginning of this training, that real success happens at the conversion of emotional freedom and financial freedom, quality and quantity. All right, so the biggest thing you can do in life, in love, in business to achieve bigger and bigger results and receive more and more is to learn to master your own internal energy and emotional state. So now we're in the emotional freedom piece, because the truth is, having financial freedom without emotional freedom is almost impossible. And if you do get there, it's not sustainable. So to learn to stay in expansion, to learn to stay in calm certainty, in trust, in receptivity, even when things don't seem to be working or when they're hard, that's what matters. That's what the work is. So now let me share with you, after this lengthy introduction, this really simple expansion hack. And for me, this is really one of the fastest way to release your short-term results and re-anchor back in trust and expansion. This is a thought experiment that over time will rewire your nervous system, your mind, your belief system, your brain, and completely shift the way you move through life and through business. So here it is. Whatever is going on, even when it's not working, especially when it's not working, decide that it is all okay. And I say decide because oftentimes that initial shift into expansion is a decision. Decide that in the end, it is all working for you. That even if you can't quite see it or understand it yet, the roots are growing underneath. It is in the process of working. And essentially, what you want to do, how this decision is made, is you want to turn towards yourself. You want to turn towards the small wounded part inside of you, the small wounded part that feels doubt, that feels not good enough, that feels rejected, that feels like life is not wanting it to succeed. You want to turn towards this part of you. Oftentimes I'll tell clients, just where do you feel that sense of doubt, that sense of contraction, that sense of frustration? Put a hand there. And you want to simply say to these parts, I know that you feel frustrated, that you feel down, that you feel heavy, that you feel overwhelmed right now. I know that you feel really sad that there's no results yet. I know you feel like it's not working or people don't want it. I know that you feel all these things, but I want you to know that whatever is happening is okay. It's part of the process. I want you to know that it is working. We just can't see it yet. So you're turning towards yourself, and you're acknowledging and validating where you're at. I see you. I feel you. I know you're frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated right now. I know it feels like nothing's working. It's okay to really hate where we're at. And I want you to know it's working. I want you to know that it's all okay, that this is part of the process, and that our results are on our way. We just can't see them yet. The roots are growing underneath. Nothing's sprouted above ground, but the process is working in the unseen realm. And so you're validating and acknowledging, and then you're re-anchoring this part of you that is kind of stuck in doubt. You're re-anchoring this part in trust. Hey, it is working. The entirety of life is conspiring for our success. Our results are on their way. They are already in the process of arriving. We just can't see it yet. So when you turn towards yourself and you say to that part of you who feels disenchanted, who feels scared, who feels maybe even abandoned by life, like, see what happens in your body when you say that, when you say, hey, I see you, I feel you, it's okay. In the end, it is all working. It is in the process of working. Oftentimes, what you will feel inside you is suddenly some kind of breath opens. Your body starts to settle. You start to move away from contraction back into slowly starting to remove the armoring, remove the bracing, remove that resistance and being at war with what is. And you start to come back into a place of trust, faith. And so, as I stated, this serves two purposes. On one hand, it reconnects us to a part of us that feels dismissed, rejected, abandoned. And it allows us to meet this part and to let it know that it is supported, it is seen, and that whatever it feels is okay. So now this part starts to feel acknowledged, seen, supported, validated. And then the second thing it does is it shifts this wounded, rejected, abandoned, sad, disenchanted part that has a lot of doubt. It allows this part, once it feels seen, it feels safe, it feels supported, it allows this part to start opening its perspective. What if it is actually working? And to start to re-anchor itself in radical trust, to start to really surrender back the results to something much bigger than ourselves, much smarter than ourselves, and to start to know in here that something is actually conspiring for our success. That even though we can't see it, the process and what we're doing is working, and something much bigger than us has our back and is supporting us. So, this simple process of just saying, hey, it's okay that nothing's working, and it's okay that you're frustrated. Here's the secret: it is working. We just can't see it yet. It's that simple. Hey, it's okay that nothing's working, and it's okay that you feel the way you feel. I see it. I'm with you. I'm right there with you, but I want to share a secret with you. It's working where we can't see it, even though we haven't seen results yet, even though it feels really hard, even though it's taking way more time than we expected. Don't give up. It is working. Life is on our side. I am on your side, and life is on our side. That is essentially what you are saying to something in you that feels small, that feels not enough, that feels unworthy or undeserving, that feels like it's been rejected or abandoned, that feels like maybe it's not good enough and nothing that it's doing is working. You're basically letting this part of you know that you are here, you support it, it is working, and life is supporting it. So, with just one simple statement of taking a pause, anytime you feel that contraction, taking a pause, putting your hand where you feel that contraction, turning towards the part of you who feels like really frustrated, really depleted, really sad, and letting it know, hey, it's okay that it feels like nothing's working, and it's okay that you're really overwhelmed, sad, whatever, because you can't see it yet, but it's actually working. The roots are growing underneath. Life's got us. Our results are already on our way. And you're bringing yourself back into this place from contraction to relaxation to receptivity. And suddenly you're back to being in this place of openness and expansion where you can start getting the flow back. You can restore and repair your own internal flow, the flow of creativity, the flow of enthusiasm, the flow of consistency. And when you repair and you restore your internal flow, that's when you actually start to restore the external flow and you get the momentum going again. I'm sure that you've heard that what you resist persists. The truth is, the moment that we acknowledge where we are at, the moment we acknowledge that, hey, it's possible that on the short term, this thing's not happening and that it's okay. The moment we're no longer fighting with what is, we're no longer worried, tight, afraid, contracted, then something is freed up. You cannot create expansion from contraction. You cannot create abundance from a place of scarcity. And you cannot create what is possible by being at war with what is. And so our big work is shifting out of being at war with what is, shifting out of that doubt back into a place of calm certainty, of trust, and of feeling seen, safe, and supported in our consistent movement action taking. I'm looking at my notes, see if I've missed anything. No, I have it. I have basically everything I wanted to share with you. So, something's happening, you're launching something, no one's signing up. It's okay that no one has signed up yet. They will come. It's okay that so few people saw our live, our post, or made any comment on it. We're creating a digital footprint here. The right people will see it. It's not about who sees it, it's about the right people. It's okay that you can't run a mile in 10 minutes yet. You'll get there. It's okay that every person you've gone on a date with recently has been a real dud. Your perfect partner is on the way. Like you're essentially making what is and how you feel okay, and then you're reopening yourself up to possibility and reminding yourself that some really intelligent process is at work and our results are already in the process of being formed. We just can't see them yet. So, whatever comes up, the moment you sense that contraction, the fear, the loss of enthusiasm, the heaviness, the disappointments, you make it okay. And you tell that worried, deflated part that all is well, that in the grand scheme of things, it's all working out, that our results are coming. Our results are coming. The beauty of this practice, beyond its simplicity, is that you're literally using your life. When things are not happening, when you're encountering obstacles or setbacks, when life seems to be not working for you because it's actually working on you, you literally use all that crap to recode your nervous system towards trust, towards possibility, towards positivity, no matter what. You essentially use the negative as the fertile soil, the shit, the muck out of which your expansion blooms. You use the negative to essentially meet and support and bring back into a sense of safety all those small, wounded, scared parts inside of you that essentially, because they feel small, because they feel scared, they will sabotage your growth. So you use the negativity to bring all these wounded parts back into a place of wholeness. And you train them over and over and over to relax, to stay open, to stay receptive, to come back into this place of regulation and then liberation and finally expansion. You teach them through the negativity of our lives to actually anchor into faith and to start believing in themselves and in life no matter what. So the contractions of your life actually become the springboard of your expansion. You make coming back into openness and trust and rewiring your nervous system and your identity for expansion, for liberation, a priority. And then as you're doing that, you keep taking consistent action. If you do that, if you make coming back to a sense of regulation, liberation, and expansion a priority, and you keep taking consistent action, you will see results. It is inevitable. We just don't get to define exactly what those results will be, how they will show up, and when. they will show up. But they are coming. That is inevitable. You marry expansion with consistent action, and you automatically, inevitably create sustainable results. Consistent, sustainable results. Failure is actually a loss of trust. If at some point you doubt yourself too much, you don't do the work of bringing yourself back into a place of groundedness, of calm certainty, of re-anchoring in trust and faith and certainty, you will give up. And that's when you fail. So failure is always a loss of trust. Trust in self, trust in life, trust in our process and our purpose. And so our big job, that's our homework, is anytime you find yourself getting down on yourself, feeling deflated, feeling disappointed, worried, contracting, deciding that it isn't working, having doubts, make whatever is happening in that moment okay. So you stop being at war with it. So you stop creating stories about it. And remind this part of you that is doubting, that is disappointed, that is deflated, that it is working. It's working underneath the ground. The roots are spreading. They are growing deeper. They are anchoring. This delay is part of the journey. There's nothing wrong here. It's part of the journey. And in the end, it's all working for us. And remember, your nervous system is the gateway to creating more of everything you desire and receiving more of everything you desire, and doing it in a way that is truly nourishing to you. Both your heart, your body, and your bank account. And it's not just about creating more, it's about doing it in a way that is truly liberating, that is easeful and joyful. And so in the end, your struggle, your growth, the creation of result is your spiritual path. Results show up when you surrender the outcome. When you are so anchored in your own knowing, in trust in life, and you're just doing you, you're busy expressing your expansion. Results just show up naturally. And sometimes you don't even notice because you're not really paying attention to them anymore. Suddenly you look back and you're like, holy shit, my roster is full. I don't have space for any more clients. How the hell did that happen? It happened slowly without you even paying attention because you were busy doing you and you were busy staying anchored in positivity and possibility and moving from that place of expansion. So remember, you are the most peaceful and powerful force in your life and in your business. So that's what I have for you today. Really simple expansion hack that absolutely shifts your entire relationship to results and your entire relationship to how we create progress in our life and business. If you sense that you are blocking your ease, that you are blocking your visibility and your ability to create and receive abundantly from that place of ease and joy, and you're ready to rewire yourself and your business in alignments and partnership with your nervous system, then I would love to work with you. I would love for us to have one powerful session to start with, where I will show you in a lot more detail than today how to bring your nervous system out of contraction, how to give all these wounded parts of yourself everything they need, exactly what they need to feel really safe, to feel really supported, to feel safe being big and safe being seen and safe receiving big. For people who are new to me, I offer a 90-minute one-on-one intensive that I called Wired for Wealth at 60% off. In this intensive, we essentially explore and figure out exactly what are your unique nervous system wounds and blocks that are essentially holding you back. And then I customize the process to you and show you exactly how to come out of this contraction step by step and bring yourself back into expansion in every area of your life. You can expect this intensive to be a deeply insightful and healing experience. So together, we're going to unlock the power of your nervous system, of your brain, of your business, and create a whole new experience of achieving, receiving, and having more in your life and in your business. And then if you want to continue working together after our 90 minutes, I'll take 5 minutes to give you a couple different options that we might continue to work together based on your goals and based on your budget. So that's what I have for you. I would love to be part of this expansion and abundance journey and show you how to make it really easeful and nourishing for you. Oh, if you want to book this call, click the description click the link in the description of this video. It's going to give you a bunch more details so you know exactly what we're doing in this intensive. You'll also get a guided recorded practice and worksheet to use after our call, so that if you want to take yourself through the process, you actually have a way to guide yourself through it. All right, I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your week and lots of expansion. Bye.